What's up? Welcome back to my channel. My channel of 2 videos. This is video number, well actually technically this is video number 3. Today is February 26th and I am starting a cut series. I have never documented like a bulk cut. I've just never, I feel like had the confidence to be like, this is the state I'm at and this is where I want to be. But I'm trying to be vulnerable. So here we are. Last year, I trained for 6 months for a marathon, which is very different than the normal training that I do. I have been doing CrossFit since 2020. So last year, I trained for a marathon for 6 months. Very different than CrossFit, strength training, the things that I was used to. And my body changed a lot. My body composition changed a lot. I think that there was a lot of noise around how you're supposed to train for endurance with carbs and all this stuff. And I think as someone, I've never had an eating disorder, but I definitely have had disordered eating and just like an interesting relationship with food, I would say. Definitely not a neutral relationship. Food is amazing, and I definitely have more of like, I would say, glutton tendencies when it comes to hyper palatable foods. I mean, what can I say? I'm an American living in the 20th century. So I would say I wouldn't say I went like overboard per se, but definitely just like after runs that were 10 plus miles, I was like, I deserve this cinnamon roll. My marathon was in November. So then obviously we went into Thanksgiving, Christmas, we had housewarming parties, New Year's parties, all the things, and I just indulged, to be honest. Food, alcohol, all the things. I was still training. Yeah, your food dictates way more what you look like than I think what your training does, especially if you're strength training and doing moderate cardio. Your body composition is more determined by your nutrition. So all that to say, I am the heaviest that I have ever been. Given I weighed myself yesterday on the first or second day of my period. So that definitely adds some water weight, usually like 3 to 4 pounds. But I clocked in at 153.7 pounds. I usually sit right around 140. So we'll weigh again next week and hopefully that drops down a little bit. But if anything, I will say that I think I've gained 13 pounds, which is a lot. For reference, I'm only 5'3". So my in-body scan said I was only 21.6% body fat, which actually was less than what I thought, but I do have 33.5 pounds of fat. I would like to see that number back down to 25 soon-ish, like in the end of like this 3 months, and then I would say like in a year or so I would love to get that down to like 22, 20 in a healthy, safe way. I don't want to be in a cut for longer than 12 weeks, so I'll probably do about an 8 to 9 week cut right now, and then I leave for Europe on May 16th, so the week leading up to that I'll probably bump back up to like maintenance so I don't shock my body while I'm on vacation. So that's the premise for this video, and I'll probably do like a little series on it. Those are my stats and what I'm doing. So my maintenance calories are probably right around, I would say 2,300. I think I get up to like 2,400 on super intense days. Like I'm training for a high rocks right now, so if I do a workout that's longer than like an hour, I would say on rest days, I'm probably more at like 1850. Usually we still take the dogs on walks and we might be doing active things like pickleball, golf. We play ping pong in our house, you know, things like that. I think right now I'm gonna start at about 1,900 calories and just be like a 10 to 15% deficit. Not even actually. Well, I guess 2,200, yeah, somewhere in there. And see how that goes. I am gonna do about a 30-30-40 split. I think it's not exact, but so I'm gonna change like what I eat on rest days. But in general, I'll be at like about 175 carbs, 140 protein, and I think I have myself at like 70 something fat. I can put like the exact numbers here. And then on rest days, I'll just cut down the carbs. So from 175, I'm gonna try to drop down to like 130. We'll see how that goes. Carbs are definitely my kryptonite. Cookies, cake, sugar, just all of it. That's my plan for that. I'm going to, number two, second thing I'm doing, so that's nutrition. Second thing I'm doing, I'm really dialing in on my training, just sticking to probably 3 CrossFit workouts a week, 1 leg focused like strength training day, 1 full like high rocks training day, and then a few runs like trickled in there. Maybe if I have time, do a Pilates class because I love Pilates. And number 3 is every single day I'm gonna make sure that I'm getting at least 10,000 steps. And this is like the bare minimum. If I know that I just like haven't moved a lot or there was like running in my CrossFit workout, I'm going to make sure I either I usually take my dogs on a walk, but take the dogs on a walk, do like a post-dinner treadmill walk. I just got a Concept 2 bike, so hop on the bike. So just trying to get into that calorie deficit the best that I can. Obviously, I think that is strongly determined by nutrition, but if I can up it even just a little bit every single day, I'm gonna try. And then I always do this, but just because I think it's important, especially when you're trying to go through like a recomp in your body or you have like training goals or whatever, but focus on sleep, 8 hours, if I can on the weekends, 9 hours, and just really make sure that my body has time to recover. I will be taking at least 1 full rest day, other than, like I said, like the walks. So this is day 1, Thursday, February 26th. It's just like an odd day. It's not a Monday, it's not a first, but sometimes you just gotta get it done when you can. So I think I'm gonna do some photos. So if I did, I'll put them here. This is where I'm starting. And this is me being very vulnerable. Like, I've always been fit. I've been a gymnast my whole life, into track and cheer. And once I got into college, I was in bodybuilding and athletic conditioning. And I've literally had a 6-pack since I was 4 years old. And I have to say, this is probably the heaviest and just like least fit I've ever looked. I wouldn't say my performance tracks that. Like, I've been hitting PRs left and right because, you know, mass moves mass, but I just want to emphasize that this is a personal preference. I like the way I look when I'm leaner. I'd love to get down to 135 if I can, because when I've been there in the past, like, that's just when I feel the best about myself. So it's less about the numbers, but because I've seen the numbers in my past, I know what that looks like for me. For my nutrition, for my training, for everything, like, this is not for anyone to copy what I do word for word, macro for macro. This is me just being completely transparent. And also, by putting this out there on the internet, I'm hoping that it just holds me accountable. So that's all I have for you today. Day 1 of my cut series. If you're interested, be sure to like and subscribe so you can keep up with this series. Hopefully this is the start of something great. Happy Thursday. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching.